everyone, it's Rebecca E. Parsons, and welcome into another day of our Journal the Word and Book of Notes course. Today, we are going to take it up a notch and do a multi-layered background called circles. Indeed, guys, we are going to be kicking it up a notch, and by that I mean we are going to be doing few more processes. We're not just going to do one. The first week I took it kind of easy to ease you into this process of creating backgrounds, but today we're going to have multiple processes going on. Not too many, don't get scared, but we're going to have a few here, and it's all based on alcohol inks. So the first thing I did was I coated the page of my my book, my sketchbook, my journal, whatever we're calling this. I coated it with a layer of gloss Mod Podge. So I am going to, since it's already done, and in essence to save a little bit of time, I'm going to do that on this piece of book paper just to show you the process. I just poured a little bit on out of my little bottle, and I actually got this little bottle at the Dollar Tree. So, you know, you can find, I told you the other day, you can find a lot of craft supplies in smaller sizes. So if you don't want to invest too much right now, if you want to make sure that you really are going to do this, you can buy this in gloss and matte, both. Let me get this one. You can buy those both at a Dollar Tree if you have one, and maybe some other dollar stores. So anyway, I squirted some on here, and I am just going to quickly, and it doesn't have to be an artist brush. You can use a household brush, a sponge brush, anything. I just coated the page as quickly as I could with full strength gloss Mod Podge. I'm going to set that aside. You can see kind of how shiny that is, and I see I missed a spot or two. So let me get that in there. And you want to clean your brush right away. You want to at least put it in water while I'm making this video, but I want to clean that pretty quickly because Mod Podge can ruin a brush if it's left on there to dry. You don't want to do that. Okay, so I am going to take my little paper and put it under here just to protect, because I'm going to be spraying and doing a couple of processes on here with these. They're alcohol inks. Those are the glitter ones. I'm not going to use right at the first, but these are just alcohol inks. Let me show you the bottles. They say alcohol ink, and this one is a lavender and this one is a burgundy. And they're pretty intense colors. And what I'm going to do is just, well, the first thing, sorry. I'm going to spray first. And this is with a distress ink called Broken China. But it's a really pretty color. So I am just going to spray in a few areas. And what the reason, my ADD head is all over the place today. The reason I did the Mod Podge gloss was because I wanted a slick surface for this. I didn't want it to soak into the paper. So that is the reasoning behind that. So you have to do it and let it dry. And it just takes a few minutes to dry. All right, so I'm just going to spray a couple of areas. Going to make some more intense than others. And then I'm going to come in with my purple and drop it in a few places. I usually try to do odd numbers. Just because that's what I learned as an artist. Keep things odd on your page because even numbers tend to mess with people's chi. So I'm just going to drop a few drops, maybe 5. Whoops, that was a big splatter. Okay, so you can see those are right now reacting with each other, aren't they? And I want this to be a little circular. So I am going to come in with just some circle elements And I'm going to put them down and give them a twist and hope this works. Ah, it does. That's exactly what I was wanting. I want to create some circles today. Ah, super. And this is just a lid off of one of my art supplies in here. And this, of course, is just a little leftover tray. And I'm going to put another one over here. Oh, you can just kind of push and pull up. And let's overlap some. So that's kind of fun, isn't it? Let me try this to make some smaller ones in here. And this is actually picking up some of the color from the other spots and moving it around. So that's kind of awesome too. I love when you find these new happenstances. Then I am going to come in here with a little eyedropper and some isopropyl alcohol. This is 91%. If you can get the alcohol in the 90-some percent, that is really good. So I'm just going to come in and drop some drops on top and see what that does. And they react a little more quickly to the distress ink than they are to the alcohol inks. Interesting. But this makes these nice little organic shapes, and I'm pretty high above my surface for these drops because they would don't want them to be huge. If I were closer, they would be more round, more bigger. More bigger. So anyway, as usual, I can get carried away with this kind of stuff, so you don't want to totally get carried away, but I wanted you to see what was happening in here and what you can play with and how you can play. And I got to be very careful with this because if I bend it one way or another right now, those are going to bleed down, and I really want to just keep the circles as they are. So you can see how cool this pretty much is. That red is a little intense, isn't it? So I am going to find a cloth, if I can, and come in here and maybe just dab at the red and pick some of it up and just lightly spread it around. Maybe do the same with the purple. Just move it to another area. So you can see how we are playing with this. And if you touch with a cloth where you have dropped the alcohol, it really lightens it up and brings back the base color of the page, doesn't it? So we can come in here again, maybe, and drop some more on these reds. So I can knock those back just a hair. They're a little intense for what I wanted, but you can see how we can play and make a whole variety of things happen here. And even more so, you can come in on these backgrounds and you could draw flowers with a black marker. You could do a whole lot of things on this page. So I am going to take my spray one more time. Let me move this a little back, and I'm going to spray over it to darken the blue, so that might make this look less spotty in there. So again, I'm going to drop some of my alcohol. And this is just darn fun. I just love I just love the look of this. This takes me back to my days of painting marble and wood graining in the decorative painting arena. That was always fun, but this gives a real organic kind of look. Just going to pour some in there. And again, I'm going to come blot a little bit. And you can see now all the different shapes opening up. And that's just because of the alcohol. And I have a little darn hair or something on there, so I'm just going to try to lift that off with my little brush. Doop. And that was kind of fun. That made a nice little swishy place in there, so that might be fun to do, is just come in here and in a few of these areas, brush across, which gives another whole dimension. It kind of softens. With that brush, so that was kind of a fortunate little happenstance. I love when those kind of things happen. So you can see, I hope, in an area like that, how this brush mark kind of softened that and made it fuzzy. Okay, so I think I'm going to stop for now and let you all get on your pages. And this would not work like this if you had done this on just a page without putting the gloss Mod Podge on first. We had to have that glossy background in order for this paint to move. So I'm just going to keep putzing here for a minute or two after I turn the video off and get some of my circles to come back that I have lost. But you can see that is still moving paint. You will see the finished one in the video and on the printable. So this is Rebecca, and get in there and journal the word and create your book of notes. May joy be with you all.